is happening to see? I need to know what's going on.
We're going to monitor for everything. Heart rate, brain waves, oxygen levels.
Sam is fine.
It's about Sam, okay? I ran the usual tests, but this time, the results are even more extreme. His vitals are stronger than any normal humans.
Do you have any idea what you're asking for? Look, the human body is not designed for these types of enhancements. And even if I could stabilize the genome, the results would be catastrophic.
Catastrophic for who, Dr. Cross?
Is there something I need to know?
I can't sleep.
Just relax.
And Can We Talk Sports? I am here with my two amazing ladies. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yes, indeed. And I'm your girl, Kawashika.
Shannon, I had to practice. My name is Karen, and what I consider myself is a community person. I love my community of DeSoto, Texas. But first of all, let me take care of some bills. We paying bills up front, y'all. So this show is been sponsored by Elmer's Cheesy Wheezies. Let me show y'all. Here you go, you guys. We're all about supporting local business, and there is a local business in DeSoto, Texas that has their own potato chips, y'all. We buy everybody. We buy Lay's. We buy them all. We don't even know who made them. But this is a local person that has a potato chip brand that is supporting us tonight. And we just want to introduce this brand, Cheesy Wheezy. They have popcorn, barbecue popcorn. They got hot. They got it all. And it's located in DeSoto, Texas. You can get some chips at the 7-Eleven on Hampton, the 7-Eleven on Wintergreen, DeSoto Food Market, or you can call Mr. Wayne. Let me give you his number, 817-714-1646. He has some fundraiser ideas to help those nonprofits raise some money. Reach out to him, you guys. That's all I got to say.
All right, so listen, what have you guys been up to?
Oh my God. Listen. So, your girl, my girl, this is a senior, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so she's getting ready to graduate, of course. April 26th is prom.
Okay.
So it's coming, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, so we've been prepared actually for her to attend Texas Women's University.
Congratulations.
So I'm so excited about that, guys, that it's like I'm back in the hot seat as a parent, right? This is what we do. But she's not in sports. She's going on the academic scholarships, right? But it's just I'm back in the hot seat as a parent because I'm looking for scholarships. So it don't stop, guys.
Yes.
And so, this show is gonna be great for you parents and which way to go. And I'm here to learn still.
Now, speaking of scholarships,
Yes.
so, I have a little problem here. So my son, one of the twins, was like, oh, Mom, I got a full ride to Manhattan.
Ooh,
Y'all, I
what?
was boo-hooing, right? So listen. So I said, well, don't you want to stay close to Texas? He's like, no, Mom. And I said, well, you know what he played on me? He said, well, you say wherever God tell you to go.
He got you.
That's
I'm
what we
sorry.
say.
Did you just use God? So look, listen. So he goes, can I go? I said, well, okay, God, all right. He calls them. I'm in the car boo-hooing. He filming me
Oh, wow.
crying. And he's like, it's going to be all right.
He
So he's
consoles
going to the
you.
University of Manhattan.
That is wonderful. Congratulations. We gotta let them out. They come back home though, so you gotta let them go because they usually come back.
But that was just so far.
Full ride. Okay.
Yes.
That is amazing.
Yes.
So we're gonna celebrate that.
Okay.
Then we're gonna pray that he be protected and all that good stuff.
We're gonna do all that, okay?
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna be crying all the way taking him to school.
Right. I'm just gonna go to
Now that other twin, I'm still wondering where. But so All right, so listen, we have an amazing show tonight. And we want to apologize. We're supposed to go at 8, but look, we're here and it's just all perfect timing. So we are going to sit down. We're going to nitpick, pull him apart. He is my son, yet today you're on the hot seat. So we have Jordan Smallwood here with us and the cast of Sam. But we're going to start with Jordan because we want to talk about, our show is about Can We Talk Sports and behind the scenes. And so we want to talk about that transition of going from the NFL to acting. But the difference with this one is it's the transition of I played in the NFL, but I didn't play like I wanted to play. Right? I didn't get to do the 2, 3, 4, 5 years. I touched the 1%, but then now I'm shifting this way. So it's like, how do you mentally, emotionally handle that? Like, okay, God, what is this that you're doing and shifting with God? So welcome to the show, Jordan.
Yes, thank you for having us.
How are you?
Good, blessed, excited for this.
Okay. So listen, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so my name is Jordan Smallwood. Of course, this is my mom on the right, but at the same time, I'm in the hot seat. And I am excited to be here, especially with these amazing people over here to my left. Just being a former professional athlete, it has been a journey, just going from the NFL to the CFL to the XFL, which is now the UFL now. One of the things that I've truly taken in is that you're always learning something new. Each season gives you another I guess you can say layer of a shield. So for me, I think, coming into this new career of mine, acting, it's been a blessing, meeting some great cast members that I'm excited to do the Sam series with, but also just learning from them. I've always told myself that I want to learn how to be a better actor, a better football player at that time. So it's like, okay, I'm going to do the same steps. So this is going to be really great. And see where it goes from there.
Okay. So let's talk about the NFL and football. We want to start there because, like I said, our show, we have a lot of athletes, moms, and this show is really going to be good because it's going to help someone who's stuck. That's like, man, I had this dream of playing because we could talk about it. We had the dream. We had it all set up. We was going to go to the draft. We was going to have it at the house. And, we was going to be sitting in front of the camera. They're gonna call your name and we're gonna be screaming, and it was not gonna be no girlfriend sitting there. So, how not doing that in this transition that you had to go through, how was it?
It was very difficult at the time. I can remember clear as day. We had a draft party in college, and it was crazy because
it wasn't the typical. It's not how we.
It wasn't the way we wanted to do, but it was the way that I was like, okay, you know what? Somebody's gonna call me, and we sat there for 3 days, and nobody called. But I got the call right after the draft happened, and that was still a blessing. But at the same time, we wanted the whole, first round or second round, whatever it was. But at the end of the day, God made a way. But the next journey was just staying in the league. That process is a whole nother process, right? You're going from team to team. You're dealing with injuries or whatever it is that you're dealing with, politics, and that plays a big role. And so for us, going in there kind of like, I don't want to say last in the door, it just made it a lot harder rather than going first in the door. So adjusting my path, into, okay, you're on this team 1 minute, you're on another team. There was a lot of tears, a lot of crying, a lot of lonely nights, especially in the hotel room, calling her, seeing thing was I wanted to stay on one specific team and be there for years. But, at the same time, God had other plans for me. And I think this right now is another path for myself, being an actor, a model. And I'm just excited for this journey.
I just want to, talk to you about that from a different perspective. You got a chance to experience what so many others
Mm-hmm.
did not. And so sometimes we look at it like, I didn't get a chance to,
Yeah.
but you got a chance to. And there are so many people who wish they got that opportunity to just get on the field. I'm talking about I get a chance to be on the Cowboy fields. I'm on the media sideline, but you were on the, on an NFL team. So sometimes we, parents, we have to educate our kids on take every step you get and be grateful on it. So I'm sure that was a learning, hindsight, looking at it now, looking at it that way.
Yeah, it was a lot of great moments at the end of the day. Like, I mean, catching the pass from Phillip Rivers, catching the pass from Mahomes in the game, those moments, they would never go away. You hear your name on the intercom, you get the first down, you get the big play, keep the drive going, coaches giving you praise in the meeting. So that stuff right there alone was like, okay, this is what I always wanted to do. And, to have that opportunity and now go back and tell kids or just other people, hey, you can make it to this league, but you have to give it everything you got. And you have to realize that only 1% can make it. And we have this conversation plenty of times where, if you're not that 1%, don't give up. But at the same time, have an understanding that, life is life, and if you are grateful to get in it, that's good. If you're not, don't worry about it. There's so many other paths that you can make and make a career out of something. And so that's why I'm doing this career, because I want to show people that, like, okay, it's another whole journey. There's a lot of actors and actresses that are really, really good. And so my job now is not to think, okay, I'm on this TV show now and I made it. It's like, no, like, this is another journey, and I want to build off of this. But I am grateful that I got a head coach that believes in me. And I'm just excited. I got a lot of people right here that's going to be pushing me and I'm going to be pushing them. And our goal is to, bring this show to life.
So real quick, what was the lessons that you learned from football that's going to take you further in your acting career?
Basically, never give up. Always keep going. There's always going to be obstacles. You're going to have to overcome a lot of things. And just like how we do auditions and stuff, like there's going to be a lot of no's. But when you get that one yes, that means, okay, this is your moment. And so take that moment and don't waste it.
So what inspired you to get into acting?
Well, my cousin, he's an actor.
Well, let me stop him real quick. He was an actor.
I was
always just acting when he was a kid. So I
I was a little comedian.
He was a comedian when he was a kid. But go ahead.
Yeah, well, my cousin Jay Ellis, he's an actor in Hollywood, and I've always, looked up to him into his acting career. And so now, getting to kind of do my own path in my acting career. And, if I have some questions, I'll ask him. But, for me, it's like, okay, this is my journey. And I want to be able to do it without feeling like, okay, living under somebody else's shadow.
Right.
And so this is where the hard work, will have to come in and it'll pay off eventually. So that's what I'm excited about.
Wow. I'm ready to get into the movie. You ready? Yeah.
All right. Let's start the movie. She just said about the movie. Okay, so if we go back to the beginning of your acting, because we're going to go into the series, it started off with, you did Deep-Seated Thoughts was your first. It was amazing because you didn't even audition really for it.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I told Keenan, I was like, I have a son. Listen, y'all was cringing because I didn't even know if the boy could act. You know what I'm saying? I was putting my neck out on the line. I was like, I got a son, and he gave you an opportunity, and you were lead detective. So that was the door opening into.
Yeah, so the whole idea of going into that first movie, I was nervous, but I kept a calm, cool, collected. You know how you gotta stay cool with it. But in the back of my head, I was like, man, what am I doing here? Like, am I ready for this? And I was. I was studying constantly, and just like anything I do, I like to really I overstudy sometimes. But that's just my way of like, okay, I really want to get this down. And so when I went into scene, it was just like, okay, I got it now. Like when the lights came on, even both, the director and everybody that was there, they were like, yo, like, you've been doing this for years? Like, what's going on? It was just because I was just locked in. When the cameras are on and people are telling you like it's showtime, I just treat it like football. It's like showtime. Just execute. And so I'm glad that movie came out really great. And I hope you guys are going to stay tuned and watch that movie when it comes out. It's dropping hopefully mid-May, end of May. But we also have other things for it, like the premiere is coming up April 19th. So be ready for that as well. But yeah, just super excited and blessed that Keenan gave me the opportunity for it.
Did you ever just kind of wonder about your path, how God just connects you? And you never even think, I don't know if you ever thought one day you might transition into being an actor, but just how it just happens and you be like, man.
You know, it's funny because really how it all got started is Katrina. So Katrina used to be one of our hosts on Can We Talk Sports. So Katrina branched off and started doing her own thing. And then next thing you know, she went into acting. And so I would do work for her. She asked me to do graphic work. And it's funny how God aligns. And then she connected me to Keenan, and then it opened the door here. So after he did the movie, and so let's go into Sam, I was like, listen, I was like I was his manager, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing that for a long time, right? So I was like, okay, I'm gonna be your manager. He did fire me, but we'll get into that.
He owed you that time.
I said, I love you, man.
So I'm setting his profile up, and I came across the casting for Sam. And I'm going over and I'm going, I was like, okay. So I typed and sent it in. I said, Jordan, I sent it in for Sam. He's like, Mom, what are you talking about? I said, series. I said, okay, hopefully she say something. Boom. It was like, I think the next day.
Yeah, she quick now.
I was like, oh, they want to audition you. So, and here we are.
Yes, here we are.
And then he fired me, y'all.
It wasn't, no hard feelings. No, we didn't do it like that.
So, Sam.
Yeah.
When you got the call, how was it?
So the whole process for the audition for Sam, she gave us some sides for everybody. I know everybody can probably, tell their story, but for me, my side was very two-part. So we had a part where, I'm trying to figure out, what's going on. And then another part where I'm talking to my mom about a situation. So it was just two different things where I had to come up with this character in my head. So, as actors, they tell us to build like a backstory, and just kind of build this whole character, even if it's for a day, just build them. So for me, I was just trying to create this character in my head. What would this person be like, sound like, whether it's going to be aggressive or kind of confused. And at the end of the day, I just said, you know what, I'm just going to, trust the process. And I literally did the audition. I sent it in. I walked out and I said, God, if it's in your hands, I'm not going to worry about it. Yeah. Whatever happens, happens. And so I think the very next day, I don't know if it was a day or two, I sent it in. Yeah, about 2 days. Cause I sent it in early, but I was stressing it the next day. That's what it was. Cause I was like, God, I said, Lord, you want quicker now. If you love me, G.O.D., you'll love me. But so it was that process where I think now I was starting to realize what an audition would feel like. And so waiting, I know that was pretty intense. Yeah. And I bet they have all these stories about them waiting for a role. And so for me, that was my first time just really waiting. I was like, man, I got that role last time with the, the deep seal thighs. And I'm like, this should be faster. But in the process of this one, this was like my very first time. And after, just having that chance to be like, she messaged me. She was like, I would love to call you. I called her right away. I said, listen, tell me now. Give it to me straight. Did I get her or not? And she gave me the whole scoop, and I got the role, and I was just sitting in my car. Yeah, and I was sitting there like, God, you made a way, and I don't know how to thank you, but all I can do is just give you everything I got in this role. So I'm excited.
So with that, let's introduce the cast. We have Janine Ware, which is the director and writer. We have Florida Palmer. And we have Coffee Miranda Hill, which is Miranda. We have Jacob and Miss Nora. That's right. Yes. Which is, okay, so I'm gonna say this and then we're gonna go into it. So when I found out she gonna be his mama, I was like, wait a minute. Hold on, I'm his mama. No, I'm playing. But listen, it was truly God, because I just watched how she took him under her wings and just like a son, and it is amazing to watch. So You guys, welcome to the show.
Yes.
Thank you.
Tell
Thank
us
you
a
for
little
having
bit about, we'll start with you. Tell us your journey on how writing and acting and the concept behind it.
Okay, I mean, my journey started as, I guess, really in elementary school. I used to love telling stories. As a matter of fact, the kindergarten teacher would call me and say, "Hey, can you come to tell stories to the children?" And stuff. I'd make up stories, or I'd read books and different things like that. And then, of course, the church plays and different things like that. But it really wasn't until high school that I got bit by the acting bug. And then it just kind of took off from there. So I've been acting on stage and screen for years. I like that. Don't age. I'm not gonna age. Many years. Yes. And then I've always been a storyteller. And one thing that I notice is an actress, as a Black actress, there are not a lot of diversity as far as roles are concerned. And then I wanted something different. And it's like, okay, well, if they're not providing it, then create it.
Wow.
And that's exactly what I did. When I first wrote Sam, it was supposed to be a movie, but it was like, oh my gosh, this is just too much. It's too much to write as a movie. And then my daughter, Kendall, said, well, why don't you write a series? It's like, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
And that's how I ended up breaking it down to a series. So Sam, I conceptualized it as a 5-year series, 5 seasons. And season 1 has 8 episodes. So, hey, we're doing casting calls Saturday, April 12th at the Nilo in Irving from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. I would love to see you there. We still have roles to cast. We got a series to shoot, and I'm so excited, so beyond excited to have these people here. They just blew me away with their auditions. And then they also blew me away with their personalities. I know we've actually, shooting the teaser, the trailer, photo shoots and different things like that. I believe that we kind of formed a little family here. Yeah.
I could be extra.
Okay.
Okay, come on in.
Come on in. Come on in.
So this is amazing. I like the type of this is a film that we as Black people can be proud of and celebrate, because we see a lot of stuff on TV that is not us or don't represent us. Now we have all the superheroes that we kind of can gleam on, and I can see this film being something like that. I can see myself binging out and watching episode after episode, just like I watched all those other movies. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about.
I love that.
I'm not moving. I'm waiting on Bridgerton to come back. Right. And I can see it being something like that. And so I'm just so excited to have you guys here and to help promote however I can help promote it.
Yes, she's good at that, I'll tell you what.
Right. Can you give us a little teaser of what is coming?
Okay.
Just a little
Let's see.
Just a little bit.
Sam,
Oh.
he has this extraordinary super strength. Doesn't know where it comes from. His mother, that's me, has been super secretive about his father. And when he asks, it's like, okay, why are you asking these questions? And so we come to find out the reason why she's so evasive is she really doesn't know. I'll let you in on a little secret. Nora submitted to this infertility study that was conducted by this man here. This man. Dr. Jacob Cross, who was doing some very funny things in the lab. Yes. So Sam is not going to be the only super being. We got someone who's super strong, someone who has super eyesight and vision, super hearing, one who's unbreakable, bone density. And so it's just, we follow these characters as they start to unravel what's going on at BioCross, Jacob. What's going on, Mr. Cross?
Yeah, Mr. Cross, tell us
You
about
wrote it? Oh,
it.
man.
Yeah, it's your turn.
So
Tell us about you.
tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started.
Oh, goodness gracious. Let's see, what year was that? Okay. When I was 6 years old, my grandmother would sit me out on our front porch. It was enclosed, and there was a TV, and she would put a pitcher of water out there, tell me not to come in and out and waste her good air. And I would watch, I'm going to age myself, I would watch Chips, Matlock, Hunter, Knight Rider.
Man, you talking
and
all
if-
the good shows.
And if they was sleeping, Baywatch. But I remember telling my grandmother I wanted to be all of those things that I saw. I wanted to be Matlock. I wanted to be Chips. I wanted to be the police officers. And she told me, baby, they're not police officers in real life. They're not lawyers in real life. They're actors. And I said, well, that's what I want to be. Because I want to be all of those careers. I want to do all of that.
Oh, wow.
And she started at that point making me go to church. Well, I was already going to church, excuse me. I was already going to church, but she would start making me do like little speeches in front of the church and things of that nature. And I did that until I couldn't do it anymore. And then when I moved to Dallas, I'm originally from Florida. When I moved to Dallas, I joined the Potter's House and instantly became a part of the drama ministry there. And then I didn't leave the drama ministry until I started doing stage plays.
Wow.
And stage plays led to, commercials, and commercials led to extra work, and then extra work led to people asking me to do films, short films and things of that nature. Moved to LA for a little bit, did stand-up comedy and acting for a bit, and then moved back to Dallas once I realized my bank account wasn't set up for that. And I actually took somewhat of a hiatus from 2014 until 2024. I did no acting and no comedy. And then God made a way out of no way.
Wow.
I did a stage play in 2012, and a different production company took over that stage play, and I saw that they were coming to Dallas, and I commented on the post. Like, I played the lead role in that play before, and one of the characters in that play, his brother died the week of the show, and they said, "Hey, can you fill in?" And I filled in for that particular character, and then a producer was there and said, "Hey, man, we've been looking for someone to do this movie. We can't find the lead for this movie. Will you audition?" I auditioned, I got that movie, and then the rest is kind of history. I've been acting since 2024. I mean, it's only 2025. Since then, I've done, actually doing a movie right now, so this would make movie number 5. And I actually have 2 more that I'm doing after that one, and then of course the TV show. So God, when he said your cup will run it over, and it certainly has been. I feel like an actual working actor. Man, I'm back to back to back, which is a wonderful thing. And then I'm a realtor on the side, so I don't have to worry about going to nobody's job. People are like, "Are you available?" Yes, I am. I am so available whenever y'all need me. So to do the audition for Sam, I'm like Jordan. I read everything and I was like, who do I think this guy is? And I did the audition, sent it in, and I got the role. And then I remember meeting with everyone for the first time, and they telling me how much they enjoyed my audition. And it wasn't the first time I heard that, and it was one of those moments for me where it's like, your gift will make room for you. As long as you are doing what God has asked you to do, you're being obedient, He will open all the doors that you thought were closed at one point. So it's been amazing.
Your character actually, it fits you. Right?
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
Your character fits you. Like, you're the one in the show. You be like, you gonna get mad. You know what? He be tripping. It's like, you're like, man, is he sneaky? No, he's nice. Like, your character is. You don't know which way you're gonna go. Yeah, I could tell that. So that's gonna be Mr. Cross. All right, listen,
Lady.
right here. So on the the trailer. She's sitting there and she says, "Are we gonna? What did you say to him, Sam?" And she had this look, right? So she had this. She's playing the counselor. She had this. Wait, not counselor. You're a
She's
That's-
a
counselor.
counselor.
So she had this look, and she's talking to Sam, and she's getting him this look like. And I said, "Oh Lord, this one right here in this show." Oh my goodness! So tell us about how you got into acting, and then your character.
Absolutely. So I started out modeling actually at the tender age of 13. I won't tell you how old I am now. Everybody else has aged themselves. I won't do that. But I started off at 13. I went to modeling and acting school in Chicago, where I'm originally from. John Robert Powers Modeling and Acting School. And from there, my teacher was like, "She has a real knack for this. You should really put her in some real stuff." And so my parents put me in pageants, which I hated, just because it was really catty and I wasn't that type of a young lady. And so from there, I started working for the radio station in Chicago and kind of met the who's who in that industry, and started doing like commercials and stuff on billboards and all that type of stuff. And I'm like, you know what? I think I can kind of push myself into doing more acting stuff. So I moved down here in 2013. I got representation. And from there, I just started booking like crazy, more so modeling gigs. And then once my face started getting out there, then I started getting calls for like feature films and short films and stuff like that. So I've been in the industry for a long time. Like yourself, I took a hiatus. I have a 16-year-old son, so he took up a bulk of that time because I wanted to be a mom and just parent him.
Awesome.
Absolutely. But now, he's getting ready to get his license in high school. And so I have a little bit more freedom to actually go back to my career, my dreams. So, yes.
Yeah, that's why I stopped too. I wanted to be a parent.
Look, that's what I was
You're alive.
Exactly. I forgot to say that.
I know.
Okay, you forgot to say
I
that.
forgot to say that. I was going. She told me earlier she was gonna say it first.
Okay.
So what is it that, I know you haven't recorded everything, but what do you hope that people would get out of this series? I mean, is it something that you want them to take life lessons with? What do you want them to walk away from this series?
This series is something different. I think we're going to create a new genre, religious sci-fi.
I love that.
Because it's like, well, I'm not going to give away the ultimate secret of the series.
Yes.
You have to wait until episode 8.
Yes.
Yes, but religious sci-fi
Wow.
is what it is. It's thrilling. It's interest. It's something new. I think it's innovative. I don't think the story has ever been done. And so I just want to create a new genre, a new film, and get back to storytelling. There's nothing better than just sitting there and then just being totally engrossed in a movie or in a story where it's like, oh, wow.
And creating positive storylines for African Americans.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, because there's no cussing in this. There's no nudity in this.
And I love
Really?
I can't cuss.
Exactly.
Really?
Uh-huh.
I mean, come on.
I can't.
I mean, because that's what they use a lot of to get people to watch it. It has to be something raunchy. It has to be, nudity and all of that kind of stuff to get us to watch it.
She says there's no nudity,
Yeah.
but I've never seen him with a shirt on in anything we filmed.
this guy.
So, borderline.
I mean, look at the poster.
No,
Right, look at the post, y'all. Look at the post.
borderline.
I like that one. I totally like that one.
Yeah.
Okay, I got a question. Hold on. That was a good one.
That was a good one.
Do you think it's going to hit Netflix?
Oh.
We just had this.
You know what?
Okay.
conversation.
Because it needs to be on Netflix. Because what y'all saying, like I'm binging. I'm sorry, guys. I'm binging right now. And it's this movie called Younger. And that's all you see. It has to be sex. And I'm literally going
I
to
watched
fast
Younger.
forward.
Yeah.
I know
And
exactly what you're
I
talking about.
like it, but it got to be something gross. It has to be. So please, Lord, Get them to Netflix.
I mean, there's so many streaming services.
Yeah.
Oh, other than that,
Yeah.
okay, well,
Yeah.
try
We don't
so
wanna
many
limit
opportunities.
time.
Let
We
me
don't
know.
want to be limited.
We don't want to put ourselves in a box.
Okay,
That's a
okay,
good one.
you know.
That's a good one.
Yeah. So it's a, what you say? It's on the streaming.
It's on the streaming.
It's gonna be on
platform.
streaming,
Yeah.
yes.
So this is for you. As a director, it's so many, man, the funding for this project, right? And to put together a project, it's not, I mean, you have lights, camera, I mean, you have to have a team. Tell us a little bit about that.
That's the challenge here. You know, we do have an Indiegogo campaign that is actually live and active. And what people don't seem to realize is like, some people think, oh, I want that huge donor that's going to give me 20,000 or 10,000 or 50,000. No, every little bit helps.
Yes.
We have where you can donate as little as $10, $15, 25, 50, 100. And if you get enough people donating, that really does help. Because to be honest, in this DFW, Dallas-Fort Worth area, I self-funded, you know, the teaser trailer. But what we want to do with this series is go so far beyond my pocketbook. So, hey, all of you out there watching, Indiegogo campaign, it is live, and I think that we did provide a link. There is a link. So that would help us out tremendously, because I want to be able to tell the story in the way that it needs to be told.
Yes, with no income limit. And so I'm there because I'm a filmmaker as well. And so I do understand how you're independent, you have to raise the money. And so sometimes we look at things being big, but if we had 10,000 people to give $20,
Yes.
you know what I'm saying? It could be done.
Yes.
And that's what we're about. We have to support ourselves. So we're definitely gonna go into the streaming and push the link. And we want you guys to share it as well, because we can get it done. All we gotta do is take it for us to come together. It can be done just like that, you guys. So we're gonna support this series. We're gonna push it out. We're gonna share it because it's us. And there was a thing that said if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. It's not easy, but it takes support. And so we're asking you guys, help us make Sam more than a 5-year series. You better say that. More than that.
Speak it into existence.
Speak it, because come on, because I got something for it too, that can fit right in long there. So we finna do this thing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I love her.
Yeah.
So tell us about the casting call. What are you looking for? And what's a typical, like a casting, you know, tell us about that day, actually.
That day, I have a feeling is going to be crazy.
Crazy.
You know, we've had people reaching out to us from Houston, from LA, from even Africa.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, definitely wanting to audition. And I am so tremendously pleased and blessed and just honored that people want to be a part of this project. We put our heart and we put our soul into this story, into this project. If you look at our website, if you look at our Instagram, if you look at our Facebook, if you look at our Indiegogo, we want to be excellent. And we want to exhibit, you know, we are Christians, you know.
That's it.
God is the head of and the CEO of Fortitude
yes.
Filmworks. I'm just the writer, I'm just the
Yeah.
director,
Yeah.
I'm just his vessel.
Yeah.
And then for me, I want to, like I said, diversity is so important to me. Being an actress on stage and screen, the number of roles that are quality roles that are available to us as people of color are slim and far between. We have someone who's a bioengineer. We have someone who's a clinical psychologist or psychiatrist. We have, you know, Sam, who's
He worked for me.
You know, see, I'm waiting for my title, and then he gonna, you know, man, my moment. People like him don't care.
Yes, but everyone, just all walks of life. You know, people are business owners, police officers, but we promote diversity. However, the the main characters are actually people of color in the series.
So Ron couldn't be here, had to deal with some with his family, so we're praying for you, but he's
Yes.
now listen.
That's the guy.
Now Ron,
Ooh.
that one right there, you'd be like, oh yeah, he ain't nothing good coming out of that one right there, so.
He worked for Ron.
Y'all see that
You see how they work?
He works for Ron, so, but yeah, I wanted to make sure we give a shout out to him. Okay, so with all this being said, like Karen said, listen, we need you guys to support. This is going to be phenomenal. I've actually been at the taping of the trailer, and not the first one, but the others. And I mean, it is like a family. It's amazing to watch. It's amazing to see them get into their character. This is something that is, I love the storyline behind it. I know you guys don't, but it's amazing. And it's funny because I told Jordan when he got it, I was like that is so you, the storyline and the journey of it. And we want you guys to get out there and support it. Like, share, follow them, follow their journey. Tell us about like how people can follow each one of you and through this journey.
Yeah, I mean, you can follow me, jsmalls_09, or just type in my name, Jordan Smallwood. Just on all platforms as well. So
Yeah, and mine, I'm just basic Janine Ware, on all platforms, but we also have Fortitude Filmworks, which is a company that I founded, in Sam the Series. And so you'll find a website for Sam the Series as well as Fortitude Filmworks, Instagram, as well as Facebook.
Mine is Florida, Palmore. Florida, just like the state, Palmore, kind of like it sounds, Pal More. PALMORE.
And mine is easy, coffee_hill, coffee with a K, KOFFEE_HILL on TikTok and Instagram.
There it is.
I post daily.
We know. I'm like, there she go again. I love it.
Yeah, so do you, Jordan.
I know. I mean, like, I love my own stuff. Like, I love the good job.
Yeah. So because I know usually when you do Indigo, though, it's like there's levels where you're paying, where you can be executive producers and things like that.
Walk-on roles and, thank you credits and different things like that. And then we have an experience where it's an escape room experience. Now that requires $1,500 donation, but you can experience the BioCross escape where you're trying to escape from the lab with the secrets that are held by, this man here without getting detected.
I'll help you guys.
So yes.
With your shirt on or off.
Right.
That's a little extra. That's a little extra with the shirt off now.
I don't know, Miranda may watch y'all. She a little tonight.
How did it take you to write the series?
It took me over a year. It really did. It did. But with writing the story, I always have to carry a notebook. I kid you not, where sometimes the story comes to me, or sometimes the character speaks to me. No, I'm not crazy, but sometimes they speak to me, the dialogue, and then the story's like, ooh, let me write this down. Because with me, if I don't write it down, I will forget. So I always carry that notebook around, and as the story, it just more or less develops in my head. I see it. It's almost like a moving film, and it's like, okay, let me capture this. Okay, let me write this down. Let me write, whether it's pencil, whether it's on pen, paper, computer. I'm constantly writing. And so Sam is a series, but it's not the only film that Fortitude is actually in the process. We have various different scripts that are actually done, copywritten, and ready for filming.
And so now it's just
casting, that's right.
It's just you and your daughter.
Yes.
Wow,
Yes.
It's just her and her daughter. So tell us about that journey, just because people would think you have a whole team.
I do have a whole
behind
team.
you. You have a whole team. You do have a whole team, but you seriously, but it's just.
I do. When God plus one, we got the majority right
that's
there.
true.
It is.
I can tell you that much because I remember first starting this. I'd written this film called Do You Love Me? And, the funding fell through and different things like that. And then Sam was actually the first written project that I'd started.
Mm-hmm.
And then God took me back to Sam. And he said, okay, it's time to finish it. It's time to work. And then I remember praying, it's like, Lord, can you send me my tribe? Can you send me my tribe? Because it's so important to have a tribe or support behind you. And what God did was he sent my daughter, Kendall, and well, he sent her way before Sam, but, but she came on board, and then it was like, whoa. And then everything just clicked. That's why I know that it's ordained. You know, he orders our steps because we were able to respond to all the emails, to the casting, to the postings. What she has done is amazing. You know, I'm creative with words and with stories, but social media and artwork, this is Kendall's work. This is Kendall's work. And then if you see our websites and our Instagram and our Facebook, that's Kendall in the posting. And then we also brought on someone on the team who actually does the sound and the music. Okay, and this is that woman right there.
But I gotta give a huge shout out to my sexy hubby, y'all. Baby, I love you, but Maceo Productions, yes.
Yes, Maceo's, because it was like, okay, hey, Shannon, I got this clip. Can you add a little bit of music, make it intense, make it, you know, make it pop, make it, you know. That's all I have to tell her. She's okay. I got you.
And so, but then what you guys don't know, behind the scenes, we have our mix and mastering from To Elite Media. He's behind there. He's looking at me like, I know you just did not do that. So I'm actually starting to see the team. It's funny because I'm starting to see the team. You know, it's just, it's a process. Like with Can We Talk Sports, it was just, it started off with them, brought us on, and then she started building a team because she does a lot of documentaries. And so, and then I'm watching God builds her team, but it is about him setting it up.
Yes.
Because I've come across other filmmakers and I've watched some stuff and I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't want to be on your team. So it really is about him building the family. And you have those who, you know, have seasons that are like 5-10 years long. It's because their family was so tight knit as actors and actresses, and they were able to extend. And then you have those whose series only last a year or 2 years maybe, and they're always saying it was just the cast. It was, you know, so and so had attitude, and then the director wasn't. So I see this lasting a very long time.
It seems really pure.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why I keep hearing chemistry, God, chemistry. And I'm just looking at y'all, just glowing.
Yeah.
Unity.
I want to give her flowers.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
I've read a lot of scripts, unfortunately. And matter of fact, she just gave us a new script tonight.
Yeah, I see.
Elevated.
Everything you know, scratch it. We're gonna go back to the best.
This
It's amazing.
woman, like I told her earlier, you would think that she has a writer's room full of people writing this script, and it's just her, and she is brilliant at it.
Amazing.
Like I've read scripts and been like, you didn't even spell that right. Come on. But this woman, I'm one of those guys that will read something and then I'm trying to fact check it to see if it even matches up. And this woman is brilliant. She knows what she's talking about. I don't know what kind of PhD she has, but she knows this biochemistry stuff. And I'm like, man, I didn't even know that. Google.
Oh, you gonna do it? I said, man, I gotta make it like no more time. Yeah, that's awesome.
She kept me. I don't have to be. Yeah, she's great. She's amazing. You are brilliant.
I think the first couple of weeks I was calling her every day talking about each episode. I was like, you did that? Really? I did this in the show? Yeah. So we talk. We do talk almost every day. You know, and it's just because, you know, we have that chemistry and we're just trying to always, you know, understand each other more and more. And so now I feel like, you know, it is like my other mom. And so yeah, she's the best.
That's sweet.
So I do want to ask this last question. As actors and actresses, shifting from acting and then going back to yourself, how do you guys handle it?
Well, I think, I mean, we all have different probably styles to it, but for me, just like I said, going back to building that character, you know, in your head and knowing how to, okay, this is Sam and this is what I need to do and focus on. And then this is Jordan.
Right.
Sorry. And so I think, oh my gosh. I'm gonna let y'all go. Whoa, Lordy.
Sometimes, you know, just finding common ground with your character. You know, I play a mother. You know what? I'm a mother in real life. So there's some parallels that you can draw from that. But even if there aren't parallels, it's finding who the character is, because this is a real person. Whether the person's likable, whether you hate this person, but making the person and the character relatable, and just drawing from life experiences to bring that character to life. Because if you look on that screen and you can tell that I'm just acting, then I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to engage you where it's like, oh yeah, that's just like my auntie. Oh, that's just like Big Mama. That's just like blah, blah, blah. If you can look at this character and find some commonalities, or it's like, oh yeah. And then grow to like the character, or dislike the character, or care about the character, whether you like them or not. It's like, oh dang, I'm gonna tune in. I'm gonna see what Miranda got playing. Boy, that girl's something else. Blah, blah, blah. And so it's just more or less about building that world, you know, making it a reality, bringing it to life.
I be like, you know, I be forgetting your name. You become Sam now. I don't even know your name anymore. You know, when you take on those characters.
That's a compliment.
I remember my nephew said something about, because he was Lawrence in, what was the show? Insecure.
Yeah.
And he'd go somewhere and someone would go off, Lawrence, you be tripping. You know, because that's how he like. That's how they roll. What I love about Sam, the series, is your characters are not taking you into a dark place.
No.
Because you have a lot of movies that they have to mentally go into a demonic place to play that movie. And that's actually, you hear a lot of them say some of them lose their mind. It's like, because you have to somewhere mentally shift down into that dark place. But the series does not seem like you're going to have to go nowhere near that, but your characters are just basically like kind of who you are. You know what I mean? Like you're comedy, you're funny, like that's your character, but at the same time, now you get to put it on as a doctor and bring it to the, you see what I'm saying? That's what I like about, you're not taking your cast where they have to go into a dark place, because you have a lot of movies, like you got to go
into And for myself, like I try not to lose, well, I don't lose coffee in any character that I play. I actually take some of my personal experience and I add it to the character to make the character who it is. I feel like when actors and actresses lose their self in a character, it's kind of hard to dial that back in and go back to your regular life. I mean, initially in some of my earlier projects, I had one short film that I did where, I got molested or something like that. And then coming back from that to have to go home to my son, like mentally, we know it didn't really happen, but it takes a mental toll on you. And so my son could tell like something was, he was like, "Are you okay, Mom? Or what's the matter? You seem like you're like drained," and you don't realize how much energy that takes from you. So I've learned to kind of separate the two, and not lose myself in the character. Because it's hard to come back.
That could be really hard to do. I mean, I don't even know how to.
Well,
it's like sports too, though, right? Because you have to, you're the man on the field, and you have to that shifting from that.
So I mean, when Cross, kind of made me cough a little bit. Thanks a lot, my guy. It was some like chemical he put in the air. I was like, "Damn, Cross, you know what we talk?" No.
He already affected you.
I'm like, "Man, he got me." No, but like going into, like I was saying, it's just you got to know how to separate. When I was playing football, it was I am Jordan Smallwood, football player, NFL player, yada yada yada. And then when I come home, it's like, I'm just Jordan. Hey, Mom. How you doing? And so that's how I used to separate myself. Didn't care about the limelight. Didn't care about, when I made a play on the field. It's just like now I'm here. And that kind of brings you back into the humble stage. And, getting this lead role for Sam, yes, I am on the covers and you see all that, but at the end of the day, like, I'm just Jordan, and I still go and treat everybody the same. I'm gonna still treat my cast members the same. I'm not gonna be that type of person where it's like, look at me, I'm the big guy. It's more like, okay, God, you gave me this opportunity, be the character, but then also know like, okay, this is just the character role, and then now still be yourself. Don't let that role ever change you. And there's a lot of roles that we probably, audition for that it does take you into that place. A lot of movies that we've, tried out for, done, and it's like, okay, that's not who we are as real life people. That's just a person that we build up in our head. But at the end of the day, once it's done, it's done. And so the movie, Deep Seated Thoughts, right? I forgot all those lines. Like after I watched the movie, I was like, oh, I said that? Wow, that's Crenshaw? I didn't even know that was me. So because after I got done, I just said, okay, that's it.
Wow.
That's another person, and I'm not gonna worry about it no more. So it's the same thing as anything that else we take on.
But the thing that's different is the money. Once the money comes in, that's where you have to keep the level head, even if you with NFL got $5 million and you didn't necessarily have to take out the trash no more. You could have a maid.
He was going to take out the trash already.
But when the money comes in, that's when you really have to control, stay grounded and stuff like that. So
I'm sure that the money has a spirit attached to it, or are you ready? Your character, your conduct, is it that?
To answer that, I think it depends on the person.
But that's what I'm saying. Is it because it's a spirit attached to the money, or it's because the person's character?
It's the character. I don't think it's attached to the money, because you can get the money to somebody else and nothing happens.
So your character has to be.
Yeah. I was having that conversation last week with a friend, and I told him, I said, man, I'm not going to change, but my surroundings might a little bit. My house might look different. My car may look different at some point, but that doesn't mean I've changed. I'm still me. I just drive a nicer car. I'm not gonna not pick you up because you ain't got gas money.
It's gonna be in a nice car.
You just gotta throw it out.
Oh no, you still have gas money.
But to answer your question about separating the characters, I don't know how everyone grew up, but I grew up in what some would call a hood. And there were life choices that I could have made that would have taken me on a different path. The funniest part about it was I was the guy in the neighborhood that everyone protected. They knew that I was something, I was special, if you will. You're gonna make it out. Okay, great. So when I get roles, like I just played a character in a movie where I was like the boss. I was the gun runner, the drug dealer. I was the guy. And I looked at it as if I had made different decisions, that's what I would have really done in my real life. So let me play that character with no repercussions in real life. And one of my favorite genres is rom-coms. So when I get to play in a rom-com, it's like I get to be vulnerable without worrying about actually getting hurt. So it's kind of like a little bit of a inside each character. As long as I don't lose myself and I don't bring it home,
That's good.
it's like a free trial. I get to try this out and see what it's really like.
I like that.
So that's how I kind of separate what I got going on.
Well, look, my mind is going, but I don't want to hold y'all up. I'm trying to think like what makes a person have to go into a different mindset of like you talked about the money. What makes them go there if it's already a gift to memorize? Because I'm looking at Jordan and I'm thinking like, how y'all memorize this stuff? Like seriously,
Because we don't memorize none of our you see this right here? We be going through it. Right. That's why we don't memorize. We be doing our own stuff.
So why they just don't use the gift that God gave him. Why go to the? But that's a whole nother.
That's a whole nother story.
You
Yeah.
kind of explain it. You just don't take it. You know, you don't
Don't take it
go
home.
there.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
All right, well,
This was good.
this is really good. Thank you for coming. We enjoyed it. We, like I said, we wanted to show the transition. And we know there's athletes out there that they've touched the 1%, but that's as far as they got. So now they're sitting there going, what do I do next?
Yeah.
Where do I go? What am I supposed to do? And so we wanted to show that, you know, even though you did go through, we didn't go into details, but you did have your moments of depression,
Yeah.
frustration, doubt,
Oh, of course.
you know, but yet you never gave up. And so God just, it's kind of like orchestrated and led him to an amazing family. Amazing family. And listen, we need you guys to go support, follow the link, follow them on IG, follow Facebook.
Give a donation.
Give a donation.
Anything.
Listen,
Get it done,
something.
y'all.
Bring ye all the tithe.
And what's
All the time.
And what you're gonna get is your name is gonna be on the credits. Everybody that was a part of my movie, their name, and I took a picture, like, you are a part of this. You helped do this. So go give a donation so your name can
Please,
go.
we're looking for
You'll
like
be famous
40,000.
already.
Close the door. Close the door.
I said.
I said close
Oh,
the door.
my God. I don't know what you would say. I just caught on the actor already. I just caught on to what he said.
I love you, Marvin Sapp. You still my daughter. Never she would have made it.
We do a whole lot.
We do a whole lot.
Yeah, so we still
That
love
might be
you.
the next series that you
But you come out, we know you're gonna play Marvin Sapp. Close the door. We already know, right? He just auditioned for that part.
But see, you grew up in church and you know you can't be walking while the offering is going. And the altar call is going off. The demons is flying, right? I didn't know that though. So give him some grace on that. That's why he said close them doors.
I said close
Yeah.
the doors.
Yeah. He didn't say lock them.
Oh, Lord, we gonna win this show because she
Let it go. Right. I've been wanting to say this, y'all leave that bit alone.
Oh, Lord, she get ready to defend you, Marvin Sapp. Oh, my
Leave that bit
God.
alone.
Call Kawasaka. Call Kawasaka. She got your back. But anyway, right. Listen, thank you for joining us. This was an amazing show. We are excited. We are going to follow. Oh, God.
Right, don't forget,
I got me back.
to get your cheesy weezy.
Real crunch.
Real crunch.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, everybody getting it.
Talk to my kids.
Got one right here. So listen,
Yes.
we want to thank you. Like I said, follow them, give support.
Yes.
If you are an actor or actress, or listen, come to the audition. Say it again, this Saturday.
This Saturday,
Oh, wow.
9 a.m. to 4 p.m., open casting call, so just walk in.
Walk in.
Come
Bring
on in.
headshots if you have them.
Headshots,
Please.
resumes, thank you,
Monologue?
thank you. No, they actually have sides.
Well,
Yeah.
yes, size.
So come ready to read.
And
Yes.
what was the location?
Nilo Hotel, which is in Irving on Royal Lane.
Okay.
I can't remember what the address is, but we'll
Yes.
provide that for you.
We'll provide the flyer for you.
I'd be extra.
You gonna be an
You're
extra?
gonna be interested.
And we will, some of us will be there.
Yes.
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 And to encourage you.
Come meet the guys, shake their hands.
Jordan will have his shirt off.
Ladies.
Come on.
You know, I guess so.
Hey, y'all see my face?
Mama like it.
So, all right. Anyway, thank you and
Thank
good
you,
night.
guys.
Good
Good
night.
you.